Welcome back, Care Partners. My client came into session this week absolutely glowing after her Mother's Day. For Mother's Day, she visited her mother in a nursing home, a new nursing home that her mother's recently been placed in, and she brought her kids to visit Grandma. Now, just weeks ago, my client was so worried to have her kids in this environment because she remembers what it was like as a young kid visiting her own grandmother. She remembered the experience as being cold and disconnected. She would just sit there twiddling her thumbs, waiting for it to be over. And she did not want that to be the experience that her kids have. So after implementing some of the strategies that I gave her, she came into session glowing, as I said. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what she did, how you can do the same, especially with Father's Day around the corner. So let's jump right on in. Before I start, my name is Dr. Sinclair. I'm a neuropsychologist and dementia care specialist. Now, let's jump on in. When dementia progresses, it gets harder to know how to engage with your loved one. You may end up sitting there at times in complete silence, or maybe you try to watch TV, or maybe your loved one is not even recognizing you or engaging with you because they're so enthralled in a hallucination that they're having. And so over time, what I tend to see is that care partners engage their loved ones less and less because that's the easier route. But even though it's the easier route, it's also the lonelier. Lonely for you as the care partner, as well as lonely for your loved one with dementia. But here's the truth, people with dementia still want and need connection. What I shared with my client is the concept of cognitive stimulation. So cognitive stimulation is a very structured approach to helping your loved ones with dementia stay both mentally active as well as socially connected. Think of it as a brain workout for your loved one, but a brain workout that's light and fun and exciting. CogStim is also evidence-based, and so what that means is it's been studied by research and shown to have improved impact for your loved one with dementia in areas of mood, of cognition, obviously their brain skills, as well as their communication skills. So feel free to go ahead and incorporate these CogStim activities that I'm also going to teach you here today. So let's go through 5 CogStim activities to try with your loved one with dementia. And the first one is the reminiscence box, or the nostalgia box, as I call it. And what you're going to do here, care partners, is you want to place a few items in your nostalgia box to bring to your loved one with dementia. Maybe it's her favorite fragrance. Maybe it's a few photos, not too overwhelming. Don't go crazy with all the photos, but just a few, right? So put some favorite items in the nostalgia box and allow that to be the conversation starter with your loved one with dementia. Or what you can also do, as I like to do whenever kiddos are involved, is to have a few categories in the nostalgia box. So on a card, you can write music as a category, or you can have favorite foods, or you can have vacation, cartoons, whatever you want to have on the card that you think is going to appeal to your kiddo, as well as something that could appeal to your loved one with dementia. And so what you're going to do with these cards is you're going to pull them out and you're going to start conversation with that. So maybe with your kiddo, you can ask them, what are some favorite types of music for the people in your classroom? And then your kiddo can go ahead and share their favorite music or the popular music amongst their friends. You can even probably pull up some of those songs on your phone, and it's a fun way to engage. You can also ask your loved one with dementia, what are some favorite music that people in their period when they were growing up enjoyed? Now, care partners, that's a fact-based question. And so if you're going to ask a fact-based question, you want to give a couple of cues, like was it jazz, was it funk, was it R&B? And the reason you're doing that is because your loved one with dementia, if you ask a fact-based question, they may not be able to answer. But if you give some cues or clues, then that can also cognitively stimulate their brain. The next thing that you can do, care partners, when you are asking about these sort of different categories in here is you want to, as much as possible, ask opinion-based questions. So for example, if there's a category here that says vacation, then maybe ask a question like this. Where would you prefer to go on vacation? The mountains or the beach? Where would you prefer to go on vacation? To Paris or Stockholm, right? So you're giving a couple of clues. You're asking opinion-based questions because with opinions, you can't ever be wrong. So keep that in mind during your CogStim engagement, that you want to move away from factually based questions unless you're giving a few cues or clues. And you want to gear it more towards opinion-based conversations so that no one's ever wrong. And that segues well into our second activity, which is a would you rather. Would you rather, but adapted for dementia. And so we want to ask questions that are only opinion-based, okay? Would you rather hike up a 50-foot mountain or swim with sharks? Okay, you cannot be wrong with whatever you choose, and it gives a bit of chuckle the more ridiculous the would you rather question is. The next CogStim activity is the category game. So you can try and name 5 items from a category. Now, again, a way that you can adapt this for your loved one with dementia is maybe you have a construction sheet and on one side is the category, so again, music, and then on the other side of that category is name 5 musicians. Now, on your mom's card, there are gonna be some clues there, right? Another way that you can do that is to have fruits on one side of the construction paper, and then on the other side that you and mom are looking at, you have a few fruits there, or maybe you have a picture of a fruit bowl, something that's going to cue your loved one with dementia. And then the kiddos, they have their construction paper with the category, but they don't necessarily have any clues on it. By the way, care partners, if any of this is helpful or resonating or sounds like fun, then please go ahead and comment below and let us know which one you're going to try. Because as I've mentioned, Father's Day is right around the corner, and I love to see when care partners find new ways to connect with their loved ones with dementia. Just when you thought it was over, just when you thought that engaging was only going to be twiddling thumbs and staring at the wall. No, 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 no. You can have activities that's both a mental activity for your loved one with dementia, as well as an opportunity to connect, especially if you have kids. Another CogStim activity that I love to recommend to my care partners is singing and music. So we kind of alluded to that a little while ago with our nostalgia box, if music was a theme or category. And in this case, you can make music be its entire activity. So you can play favorite songs from your loved one's era, and then also compare that with your kiddos' genre that they listen to right now. You can pull up music videos on your phone and compare and contrast the beats and the dancing and just have a chuckle as to, what was Elvis doing back then compared to, what is Eminem doing in his music videos. So it's a really wonderful activity to watch across many generations. The laughter, the similarities in dances, the similarities in beats, and also the vast differences in some of the movements. So it's a great way to engage. It's important to note, care partners, that the reason music becomes such a valid part of activities for your loved one with dementia is because it lights up the part of the brain that is preserved longest despite the dementia type. As you know, the brain is starting to fail your loved one, but music tends to be a preserved area longest across many types of dementia. So feel free to put that music on and have a great time with your loved one with dementia. And the fifth activity is something, care partners, that you can do with your loved one with dementia, even in the later stages. You can do a lot of sorting activities. So you can sort socks, you can sort the colors of socks, you can sort forks and spoons and knives, you can sort cards by color, by suit, etc. I know for some care partners, when I tell them about this, they say, "Oh, but isn't that childish?" Not so. For a loved one with dementia in the later stages, their brain actually likes repetition, and that sorting motion brings about calm for them. So if you have a kiddo who you want to bring along with you to visit a loved one with dementia who's further along in their dementia process, then feel free in your box to bring something like that, something that they can sort, whether it's coins, whether it's buttons, whether it's different colors of buttons. Something that's repetitive for them is going to light their brain up. As we wrap up, Care Partners, I do want to give you some tips for success. So first things first, you want to pick activities that appeal to your loved one with dementia, so you know them best. And you also want to have activities that appeal to your kiddos. And then finding creative ways to have those gel. Or even if they don't gel, find ways to compare and contrast by, as I showed you earlier today, with the music. You can compare and contrast the music. You can compare and contrast the dancing. Incorporate hand clapping and foot tapping in that and dancing, right? So that is one way that you can make it fun using both of their interests. Next, focus on connection, not correction. Connection, Care Partners. And the reason that that's so important is because that's why you're there. You want your kiddos to walk away from this experience saying what my client's son said, which is, that was so fun. When are we going to go back again, right? You want that to be their experience, and your loved one with dementia is going to enjoy it as well as your kiddo. If you spent the time correcting your loved one with dementia when they made a mistake, or even correcting your kiddo, then it pulls away from the fun and the connection that can be had. Third, let go of expectations. You may have prepared the loveliest box. You may have printed off the most beautiful fruit basket for the fruit category game. And you get there and the kiddos just want to draw or maybe color with grandma instead. And you know what? That's okay. That is connection. So let go of it needing to be perfect in some way and managing everyone. And let's just see what evolves and what comes out. Fourth, involve the whole family. But again, being flexible about that, because if you're noticing that mom is starting to fade a bit, then maybe you want to have her favorite snack there, and maybe she's not engaging in so much of the activities, but the kiddos are. So she has her favorite snack as the kiddos are engaging in the questions and you're sort of quizzing them or being curious about it. Mom gets to smile and enjoy what's going on around her. So again, be flexible, but then also involve everyone. But that involvement of mom might just be having her favorite snack so that she can watch kiddos have a good time. And finally, Care Partners, I want for you to keep it simple. You're busy enough. Keep it simple. Unless this is your jam and you love this sort of creative activity and you want to go ham on it, fine. If this is what you love to do, great. But for those of you who are busy and you want to keep it simple, I've also gone ahead and pinned for you below the activities guide. So you can print that off. You can see the activities that we've gone over today, what you're going to need to prepare in advance. And again, Father's Day is right around the corner. So go ahead and practice some of those activities and let us know how it went for you below. I love hearing when my clients or you guys say that you had the best Mother's Day ever or the best Father's Day ever and it far exceeded what you expected. I love hearing that. So go ahead and share below which activities you took advantage of and what creative ones you came up with just based on the topic. As we wrap up here, Care Partners, if you're noticing that you want more activities based on your loved one's stage, I will go ahead and link that next video here for you as well. So take a look at that, and then you have activities across all the different stages of dementia care. I hope that was helpful. Again, comment below and let us know which ones you used, and I'll do more videos like this because these are just so fun. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.